So here we are on the 7th of August 2021, sitting at the fuel dock here at Foss Harbor for our last fuel and pump out. But we have had 20-knot winds, actually heavier winds here. Today I'm back down below because coming into the fuel dock we had no reverse, and in trying to come to a stop here at the fuel dock we lost forward gear as well, so we came in here full force. I did get the cleats caught, we did get tied up at the dock, which was good because we had no control. But what happened is, and I'm watching boats that are trying to get in here, sorry, we sheared off the pin on the gear shift down here below. Rick's down there trying to figure it out. Just not sure. We're gonna get that figured out here real quick. Whatever they need. And now we have, for the last 3 hours, been in search of a 1-inch tap and die set, a 1-inch nylock stainless steel nut, because the nut on the end of the shaft was loose, obviously, for some time, rolling around in there or rattling around. So the threads are not in the best of shape to try to get the nut back on. I had a piece of brass here, and one of the workers here named Alan, just a great all-around guy, he said, well, I think I can mill that down for you so that, you know, it may fit and may work. So while I'm out, via the help of some really good ex-neighboring boaters, Beth and Richard came and picked me up in the car. We went running all over town trying to find the piece of brass we needed to call back and update Rick on what was going on, and he said Alan had been able to get that milled and that would fit and work perfect. So trying to put this all back together so we could get off the dock, discovered the nut and the threads on the end were all messed up. So we are now just still sitting here. Rick and everybody is still running after being to several places to try to get a nut and maybe a couple files to maybe file the threads down on the shaft that got chewed up so bad. So they're out running, and that's with the help of our friend on Jungle, who had some issues when he tried to leave the dock last Sunday. So we helped him out. His windlass quit working, so we drove up to Port Townsend, picked up his windlass, brought it back down here to the Tacoma area to Breakwater Marina so that he could get that serviced and get that back on his boat, because as y'all know, they're gonna try to make the big left when we do. So today Jim is now trying to help us out for not having any tools that work or fit on this boat, and so it's kind of like paybacks. Kind of interesting how they didn't have power but could get theirs fixed. We don't have power and we're working on getting ours fixed.
Yeah, just have to adjust the tension on that.
So we got Mike here from Port Angeles, who's a good friend of ours who also owns a Cal 246. He came down this morning, bless his heart, to give us a hand getting our keyway back in and the collars on and the shafts realigned, and hopefully we will have our forward and reverse gears again, but also his trusty dusty Phoebe. This is Phoebe. This is Miss Phoebe, if she'll look at me. She likes to be close. There she is. We saw Phoebe first, excuse me, when she was just a few weeks old, 6, 7 weeks old. And we hadn't seen her again until just now. She's a 1.5 years old, weighing 16 pounds. What? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? There, say hello. And so we we're here, got moved to the gas dock from Foss Harbor's fuel dock. Spent the night there, and now we're here and getting this all done. Mike had a 1-inch tap and die, but it just didn't quite work, so we're not quite sure why. He thought it was just the tap and die, which is that. So we had to hand file the shaft and the nut to try to get it to work. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Yes, you are. Yes. And so with that said, we are crossing fingers as they finish up. We don't have a 100 foot-pound torque wrench on the boat. Need to get that in our arsenal, as well as this nifty snap-on tool set he had that had the files in it that we needed. And we are crossing our fingers that this will all work, and Mike had the answer to help us out. So I'll update you more later.
Well, we are coming out into Commencement Bay. We have Judy up on the bow taking care of the lines. We're heading over to Stockton for the night, so not going very far. And then tomorrow, Monday, we'll head over to Gig Harbor. Try to meet up with some friends of ours. See one last time before we head out. And so we'll get another shot probably of Commencement Bay sometime this week.
Okay, continuing on August 8, 2021. So we made it out of Foss Harbor and the Commencement Bay, as we previously said. We come over here. It's about an hour away. It's Stockton, and it takes us, I don't know, a little over an hour to get here. It's pretty windy, so you're gonna have to bear with me on the wind on this, but as we move around, I'll just let it give you a view of the bay. It's quiet. There's not a ton of cars, no trains, no speeding cars and motorcycles and bells and whistles and halyards clanging. Just the wind. Light as it is, the wind. Now it's time to just regroup. Maybe have a cold one. Oh, am I behind you?
You're behind.
Where's my drink?
I had needed to ask you what you wanted.
You don't have to ask. You know what I drink. You know what I drink. You know what I drink. Why are you asking me? You know what I drink. Why are you asking?
You want a margarita?
Now I'll do the fuzzy. I'll do the peach schnapps and orange juice. Not quite the fuzzy navel, but we have a friend who called that a fuzzy navel. And so it's of course a sweeter drink with orange juice and peach schnapps, but it's good. Okay, a little look later on. Maybe we'll get a nice sunset and that I can show you that instead of always having to show you just the daytime stuff. Y'all just have to see this little cute sailboat out here. I love the colors of his little sails. It's a little day sailor. I think that's what those are called. He's just zipping around out here. He's having fun. But that's cute. Good mid-morning, everybody. Well, early afternoon. Sorry about that. On August 9th. Still here at Stockton. And we went around this morning with the dinghy. cleaned off some of the superficial gunk on the hull of the boat. Rick is now down diving on the rudder and trying to get that cleaned up a little bit better than what we could reach it with the brushes. So I'm out here kind of keeping an eye on him, and just thought I'd give you a little peek. Down there at what's going on. Dinghy's still floating. We have just one more boat out here anchored that was there the other day, and they've got a little boat that kind of came up to them as well, but it's pretty quiet in here today, and really is nice. But we will be leaving here this afternoon and head over to Gig Harbor, about another hour away, and we'll sit there for a while. So in a previous video, I was trying to get you to see our makeshift anchor buoy, and it is working perfect. Our fender with the weight on it, everything is working great. So, oh, 2 power boats. That was the first one. That's the second one. All right, I'll give you more later. Just a quick view to this late afternoon on the 9th, leaving Stockton.
Had a really nice night compared to the one before.
So here we are at 6:11 p.m. left at about 10 minutes to 5. So coming to Gig Harbor from Stockton is a short trip, and you can see here there's a ton of boats in here anchored out. So we got a rowing group back there on their training, and Rick has got the anchor set. He's washed off all of the gunk that was still on the anchor, and we'll be here for the night. And then, as you can see, there are some gorgeous looking boats. I probably can't see it as well here, but you know, it's nice here right now. We'll give you a better look later on.
Little did we know that there was a concert here in Gig Harbor at the city park down there at the marina. And you thought it would be like the 4th of July over at Stockton or something. I've never seen so many people coming in. I mean, the city dock, guest dock, they have them rafted 3 deep. The dinghy dock is full. There's kayakers. There's boats anchored next to the city dock. It's kind of exciting out here.
Tied up to the bottom of here.
Yeah, they're tied up everywhere. And just so you know, I don't know if you'll be able to see it up here or not, but we anchored with our anchor buoy over in Stockton, and I thought we had plenty of line out. Well, I can't even see it now. And so it begins.
Horns honking, people departing.
It's a massive exodus. People trying to beat cheeks back to their hometown, I guess before dark. I don't know. Started a few minutes ago, the horns honking. Boats starting to head out.
few more minutes of playing, and then it will be mass exodus.
Yeah, it probably won't allow this on YouTube because of the music in the background.
Music,
but it
we'll
was,
see.
we might have to post it on Facebook or something.
Here we go, people honking again. Big horns, little horns, beeping horns, fog horns.
Air horns, all kinds of horns. Here is the new sound card that I bought. The software wasn't able to really distinguish very well off the sound card built into this old HP. So I bought that little USB sound card, plugged it in, and it has made a huge difference. It's comparable with the Signalink USB on the Dell in quality. It's not perfect, but it's at least it's working now, and it's saving the grip files to a folder. So this is the end of about a 2.5 hour download cycle. These are posted on the internet. This is out of Point Reyes, California, and they list the times on those. That's UTC or Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu, and then it gives you a list of what the images are. It's at 120 or 576, and the time and the map area. So it gives you all that information, and we are at 2217 UTC, which is the last one in this series. So I'm happy that we've got this going and able to use these. I can also save them as JPEGs and load them into OpenCPN. So it's been a good improvement. This little trip here, and our stay in Gig Harbor has had some positive influences and results. Let's give a little added information on this particular image. This is the active tropical cyclones in the southern Pacific, and this shows that between Hawaii over here and Mexico, Baja Peninsula over here, this low pressure cell, and they're anticipated going into a cyclone. If it hasn't already, the dashed lines indicate that there's a 5% chance of winds greater than 34, and the solid line is that there is a 50% chance that the winds will exceed 34 knots in that area. So good information on these grip files. Places you would like to avoid, for sure.